Hi, good afternoon. These notes are on missing dimensions, page 115 of your notes, and this is for Tuesday's homework on April the 10th. So down here we've got some steps, which we've done missing dimensions before for two-dimensional shapes, so now we're going to do it for three-dimensional shapes for a volume. So the step one is you write your formula. Step two, you substitute the numbers in for the variables, and then step three, you solve for the missing variable. So if we read number one, find the height of a rectangular prism with a length of 9, a width of 9, and a volume of 1,620 centimeters cubed. So we're trying to find the height. So we know that the formula for a rectangular prism is base times height. Base is your length times your width. So length times width times height, and that gives you your volume. So there's my formula. So length times width, that's my base, times height of my prism gives me my volume. So now we've written it. Now we're going to substitute our numbers in for the variables. So my length is 9. My width is 9. My height is unknown. And that is all multiplied to be 1,620. And then we just solve it as normal. So let's simplify this side. 9 times 9, 81. How do I undo multiplying by h? I divide by 81. So divide by divide by 81, divide by 81. And 1620 divided by 81 is 20. So my height is 20 centimeters. And that's how you do a rectangular prism. All right, number two. Find the length of a triangular prism that has a height of 6, a base of 8 inches, and a volume of 408. So a triangle is base times height equals volume. My base isn't the area of my triangle, so little b times h divided by 2 times the height of the prism equals my volume, and then fill it in. And remember, this is for the triangle. The height for the triangle, this is the height for the prism. So what do they give us? They give us that. So when they say length of the triangular prism, I think what they mean is the height of the prism itself. Okay, so that's just another way they can tell you what it is. So we're going to fill in what we know. We know the base of the triangle is 8, and we know the height of the triangle is 6. So 8 times 6 divided by 2, but we don't know this guy. But we do know that it all multiplies to be 408. All right, let's simplify this. 8 times 6 is 48. 48 divided by 2 is 24. And 24 times h is 24h. Divide both sides by 24. And then 408 divided by 24 is 17. So the length of my triangle, or the height of the prism, is 17 inches. All right, and then number 3, find the height of a cylinder with a radius of 11 and a volume of 1,899.7 yards. So we know that it's base times height. The base is the circle, which is pi times radius squared, and then times the height of the cylinder. So there's my formula for volume of a cylinder. Now I'm going to fill in all of my information. So pi, we're going to use 3.14. Radius, we're going to plug in 11. And height, I just don't know. But my volume, all of that multiplies to be 1,899.7. Let's simplify the left side. So 3.14 times 11 squared is 379.94 times h equals 1,899.7. Divide both sides by 379.94 because it's multiplying, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So we divided that side. If we do it to one side, we must do it to the other to keep the equation balanced. All of this you're remembering from Unit 8. Well, what was it? Unit 8 when we did equations. So then 1,899.7 divided by the 379.94 gives us a height of 5. And my units are yards, so 5 yards. Okay. So that's how, oh, there, sorry about that. That got cut off. So pi times radius squared times height equals volume. 3.14 times 11 squared times h equals 1,899.7. And then I just simplified and got 5. All right. So what you need to do is go ahead and try numbers 4 through 9, and then go ahead and pause the video, and then in a moment I will put up the answers. So this was a pretty short video. Hopefully you'll be able to get through it pretty quickly this afternoon once you get started. If you find any mistakes that I make, just put it at the bottom of the video. All right, so here are the answers for numbers 4 through 9. Number 4, I did length times width times height, and I solved for W, and I got a width of 17 centimeters. For number 5, I used base times height divided by 2 times height to get my triangular prism, and I went through all the work, and I got a height of 14 meters. And then this one, it actually asked for diameter. So once you found your radius, you actually had to multiply times 2 to get your diameter. So let's walk through this one. Pi times radius squared times h. I filled in all my information. Then what I did here was I multiplied pi times 7 and got 21.98. I divided both sides by 21.98, and I was left with r squared. So r squared is 9. Well, what squared gives you 9? 3. And what you could do to undo a square is you can square root both sides, and the square root button on your calculator is right here. So you just do second square root, you put 9 inside, and then it gives you your root of 3. So I got a radius of 3, but then it asked for a diameter, so then I just doubled that and got 6. Down here for number 7, they threw in some extra information. You did not need to know the 15. Your 15 is a hypotenuse. You do not use the 15 to find the area of your triangle. So the area of your triangle is actually 12 times 9, because this 9 actually goes, it's right here and here. So this triangle is a 9 by 12. So 12 times 9 divided by 2 times the height, I don't know, gives me 1,026. So this was extra information, so I crossed it out, and that's how I got my answer of 19. Number 8, my length is 13, my width was missing, and then my height was 9, and I solved it and I got 7. And then this one is very similar to number 6. So you set up your formula, pi times radius squared times h, filled in your information. I multiplied pi times 6.5, and I got 20.41, divided both sides by 20.41 and got 4. Well, the answer is not 4 because it's radius squared equals 4. Well, what squared is 4? Take the square root of both sides, and I got 2. So my radius was 2 inches. I went back to see, are they asking for a diameter? No, they're asking for radius, so I answered my question. All right, so if you find any mistakes or if you have any questions, just put them at the bottom of the video, and I hope you guys have a great afternoon.